Gemini, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your October 2022 mid-monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to start out with one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what major arcana needs to come out for the sign of Gemini? What's going on for you? We have the Emperor. So a boss, CEO, figurehead, or a monarch right here. When we look at the Emperor card, this is someone who is in charge of a lot of different things, has a lot of moving parts going on, right? And they're sitting at the top, making sure everything is running smoothly. So when I see this Emperor energy for you, Gemini, this could be you or this could be someone you're dealing with coming into your life right here. But there is a aspect within your life that is dealing with someone who is at the top of something. You could be talking to your boss. You could be talking to the CEO of your company. You could be the boss or CEO. This could also be having the ambition. Maybe you're doing something right here that will put you in a path to become the top, to become the leader of an organization. So what's going on with this Emperor energy? What do we need to know for the sign of Gemini? I'm going to be using the Revelations Tarot. This deck does have reversals in it. You have the Five of Swords in reversed. You have the Four of Wands in reversed. And you have the Chariot in reversed. Okay. I'm going to give you the description of each one of these cards first and foremost, but I don't know how they tie into this Emperor energy yet. I'm going to clarify them with a different deck. But when we see this Five of Swords in reverse, this could be, someone having very harsh words for you, okay? So you could be saying this to someone else or someone could be saying this to you. I kind of feel like it's coming from this boss energy. Maybe you are the boss. Maybe you're having to fire someone. Maybe you are getting fired right here. With this Four of Wands, it's not a happy celebration. This is kind of like, it ruins your plans. The Chariot is maybe you already had plans. Maybe you're wanting to rise up to the top. Maybe you're wanting to go somewhere, but all of a sudden your plans come to a screeching halt because a Chariot is about moving forward. It's about ascending, all right? So all of a sudden your plans are not ascending anymore. With this Chariot energy, it can be involved with, police officers, the law, whatever, but you're wanting to do something, but this authority figure stops you from doing something. So maybe you're on the run. I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe you're on the run and then all of a sudden you get stopped, whatever it is. Let's clarify this Five of Swords. What's going on right here? Oh. Hold up. Hold up. One of the cards from another deck is in here. I'm glad I didn't pull anything yet, but there it is. Put it over there with that deck. When I clean up from all my other cards, sometimes they get mixed up within my decks right here. I'm glad I caught it. So what's going on with this Gemini energy? What do we need to know for you? So we have the Five of Swords coming out. We have the Ace of Cups and the Six of Knives. I kind of feel like in a way someone, it could be you, it could be someone else, wants this to happen. They're wanting to have this very sharp communication for you. It makes them happy to do so. Maybe you are dealing with someone within your life right here. The Emperor energy is very, it's representation of Aries, someone who likes a lot of conflict, right? War energy. This person could get their happiness from making you miserable, okay? From talking shit. That's how some people who really don't have anything good going on in their lives, that's how they make other people, or they make themselves happy, is they just talk shit to people. And you might be the object of, that they're lashing out at. So what's this Four of Wands right here? Seven of Scepters and the Eight of Scepters. I feel like you're pushing back. Whoever this is, this could be you or this could be someone else, but I'm going to clarify the Emperor in a second. Actually, I'm going to clarify that now. Who is this person? Five of Scepters. Someone who just likes to argue. So if you're someone who likes to fight and argue, someone is reacting to your bullshit now. If it's the opposite way, then, it's reversed. You're reacting to them. You're saying, no, you're not going to do this to me anymore. Someone may have done this to you a lot of times within the past, but now you're finally, gaining the strength and gaining the energy to saying, no, it stops here. It stops right now. You're not going to get your happiness from making me miserable anymore. What's this Chariot energy? You have the Prince of Knives and you have the Six of Skulls, yeah, you're giving it right back to them. Because the Prince of Knives is a sharp communication, which is your energy coming out, and the Six of Pentacles is giving it to someone. It's a rich man giving something to the beggar. So you're giving this harsh communication back at someone else with this Chariot. You're saying it stops here. This is not going to happen anymore. So why does this person want to do this besides that they have a Five of Scepters energy? It's Leo energy. Leos like to, not Leos in general, but Leo's energy is, it comes from a place of conflict, okay? Leo is thrust into a situation where it's conflicting energy, and you want to walk away from it. That's the whole point of Leo, is walking away from the conflict and then succeeding somewhere else and rising above the competition. So this person is someone who is not possibly a Leo. It could be, but someone coming from the very base energy. It is a, it could definitely be an Aries right here, because Aries would definitely be stuck within this kind of mindset. What you have to understand is some people know that they could make their way in a different part or a different aspect within their life. But they choose to stay within conflict because it gives them some sort of adrenaline rush. Some people love the concept of adrenaline, the concept of fighting, even though they know that they would be better off doing something else, all right? For example, some people, you know, they stay in the military for 20-something years because they like that kind of stuff. I almost fell off my desk. They love that conflict energy. And some people, they don't. So you're dealing with someone right here who loves to fight, who just loves to be, and it could be a boss right here. And, you know, dealing with someone who is a boss who loves that kind of energy, it can be very tiresome. And I feel like maybe they've said stuff to you, they're coming at you, but you're giving it right back to them, and you're showing them you're not a pushover in whatever this situation is. Yeah, the Temperance, the Nine of Skulls, and the Star. Because you're coming out at the right time to do this too. You're doing it at a right moment that aligns perfectly within your life, because the Star is Aquarian energy. So this Nine of Skulls, imagine if you said something to them, like they come at you during a party and you say something and it kind of damages their reputation, and you realize, hey, I'm not a pushover. I don't know where you thought you could talk to me like that out in public, not behind closed doors. Like, that's this energy, that's this situation. You're showing your dominance, you're showing your assertion right here. You're coming back with this Temperance energy with sharp words at something that seems to be, you know, very fancy with this Nine of Skulls. It could be like a dinner with this starlight energy, starlight over a garden. Starlight over a garden could be very symbolic within this coming months. Maybe it's at like a haunted house. I don't know. However, with this starlight energy, it's connecting to your destiny, because once again, Aquarius is the grand astrologer. All right. So alchemizing this in a garden that is connected to things. This could be like a maze, a corn maze. There could be a fight breaking out at like a haunted house or a corn maze. I'm just throwing that out there for you. But you're stopping the situation when it arises, when it occurs. Regardless of where this is happening, regardless of where this argument is taking place, I feel like it's taking place at the right moment so you can shut it down once and for all. You're showing this person who you are. You're not one of their little friends that they can fight with in the Five of Wands. You're an adult. They should act like an adult. Some people, some people peaked in fucking high school. You got to remember that. Some people will never get out of that mentality. They'll be like 40 years old talking about, oh, remember when we were in high school? Like, nobody cares. So, and you know what? That's from someone, I had a pretty good high school experience. This is not from someone who was like, you know, had a shitty high school experience. I just don't care about high school. I never did. I had a decent experience, had good education. I had a lot of friends, just did not care. So there are some people, you know, who are my age that peaked in it, and they just still talk about it. Remember when we were in high school? I don't remember anything. Like, nobody really, it's not something that's memorable. So what's going on right here? And maybe that's the same way you view the situation. It's like, yeah, okay. But, you know, they carry that mentality into the next phases within their lives. Some people never grow up and leave their hometown, and they want to be top dog in their own little town. And that's okay. But the problem is that they lack a lot of critical thinking and life-changing skills, all right? They lack moving forward within their lives. And I feel like you're dealing with someone who's coming from a very childish energy with this Five of Wands energy, because it's a bunch of pages fighting. Who has a very childlike mind, because it's Aries energy. Aries rules the head. So childlike head, but is a boss of something. You know, sometimes people live in those small towns and, you know, they just are able to climb the social ladder because maybe their parent was someone who was special, right? You have the Five of Cups, you have the Nine of Wands, and you have the Hierophant. Yeah, I kind of feel like this is taking place in an organization. Just make sure you don't get hurt. Because the Five of Cups does represent, you know, pouring out of something. It'd be the pouring out of blood with the Nine of Scepters, because it represents a fight, an actual physical beating. Within the Hierophant, organization. Two of Pentacles. Maybe someone is actually picking a fight with you and you're showing them that you're not just this sweet, caring, innocent individual. Because the Two of Pentacles is also kind of representation of a demon in the mirror. She's a vampire, obviously, but she portrays the image that she's this loving, sweet, gentle individual. But in the mirror, she is a bloodthirsty demon. So maybe someone is seeing you as someone who's just, you know, sweet, kind, whatever. But you can give it right back to them. You have this very dark persona, and they're not expecting that. So don't go overboard. You have the moonlight energy. Yeah, the dark persona at night. Because the moon represents occultism, magic, black magic. It can represent insanity. So maybe you have like that, you know, there's the day you and the night you. And they catch you at the wrong time. Two of Cups, Lord of Swords, Hanged Man. You're connecting with energy right here. You're connecting with the higher thought process. You see things from a different perspective. You see things from a higher perspective, and that's what this person doesn't realize about you. You are a different type of person. You are a different type of individual. They just never dealt with people like that. Maybe they're used to dealing with people who peaked in high school too. They're not used to dealing with someone who can take care of themselves, who's not just going to allow themselves to be, you know, trampled over. The Emperor coming out. The Page of Skulls. And they're going to feel very childlike. And even at the end of this, Gemini, they're still going to be a very childlike individual. They come from a very childlike mentality of fighting. They come from a very childlike mentality of what wealth is, the concept of wealth. They just don't know. And, you know, that's what's hard to think about when you live in a small town, all right? There are a lot of, you know, if you live in a small town, there are a lot of Masonic societies, right? There is always a lodge everywhere you go. People say in Mason societies, you really don't, it's not political, it's not anything like that. However, you know, favors do take place. People do exchange secrets and whatnot. It is whatever. They can say all they want. Oh, it doesn't happen. It does. And, you know, some people get put into authority who don't deserve to be in authority simply because they are friends with someone, or they know someone, or they grew up around someone, or they're just, you know, one of the good old boys who grew up in this town. You will never change this person's mind, Gemini, so it's almost like a chasing after the wind. It's almost like casting your pearls before swine, all right? I'm telling you this for your own benefit right now. You will not change the mindset or the mentality of this person, okay? The Daughter of Knives coming out with the Page of Knives. So we've pulled 3 different pages or 4 pages right here. This person is a child in the mind, all right? Now, they look attractive, and maybe they are an emperor who is someone who's very, like, physically capable, right? Maybe they're sexual. Maybe they're someone who is very, what's the word? Sexually provocative, because that's kind of what the Page of Wands is. It's a person who's dressed up in a very sexually provocative manner, and people are looking at this page. However, with this energy, they're not... The concept of money is very weak. The concept of having a higher thought process is very weak. The concept of just wanting to have sex is also very weak. When we talk about the concept of having sex, it's just someone who could have a lot of different partners. They don't ever really engage emotionally within anything. You're probably dealing with someone like this at work, and you're trying to... Here's what I think is going on. They're going to try you because they're coming from a very young mentality, right? You're going to respond to that and make them feel stupid. But it's not going to change anything, Gemini, because they're still stupid. They're not going to evolve mentally from this, because maybe you just have more life skills than this person. Maybe you just have more of a thought process than this person. Maybe you've just had more experiences than this person. You are connected to the King of Swords mentality. You can make this person cry and feel like absolute, like, trash. But it's not going to make them evolve into a higher mindset. It's not going to get them into, the hanged man mode. Because this is your energy that you're pulling. Okay? Some people cannot and they will not grow out of that. So maybe you're dealing with this energy right here, but here's the thing. They're a boss of something. They know how to be the head of something, but how they rule is like through bullying, through conflict, through tactics, all right? No matter what you do here, no matter if you put their role to a screeching halt, they'll learn not to mess with you, but they're not going to evolve past that into anything else. They're still going to mess with other people. Maybe they'll just think twice about messing with you. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need, but don't expect a grand spiritual epiphany for whatever this is right here. Okay, for this person, for this idea, for this concept, for this structure. All right? Maybe you're working in a very childlike, not childlike, but when I say childlike, I'm thinking of someone who is like stuck in a mentality where all they want to do is like drink and have sex, and they don't want to ever progress past that. Okay, that I'm not talking about like an actual child. I'm talking about like the mindset of like being 21 again, like they've never grown past 21. This could be an organization that you work for that's never grown past 21. For example, working retail is the concept of never growing past 21. That's why there is a store called Forever 21. Does that make sense? There is a mindset behind it where people will not grow past 21. That's what this reading is. Some people will be peaked at that high school, early college phase, and that's it. And they'll get things simply because they're someone who knows someone, even though they don't deserve it. They're going to try you. You have the opportunity to shut it down. You could walk away, but I feel like you're defending yourself here. But it's not going to change their mindset towards anyone else. Maybe just towards you. It could be the concept at work too. It's not going... Maybe you're going to stand up for yourself for this company. You're like working in this company and you're saying, but if we did it this way, things would be better. But they're looking at you like, well, we're not catering to people who want to get better. We're catering to people who want to be Forever 21. Like maybe you see potential in the company to grow past this and do something more, mature, but they don't want to. They want to cater to this mindset. 7 of Pentacles. Grow something else somewhere else. Okay? Let's look at your Witch's Familiar Oracle cards. I have met a lot of people in my life who are the concept of Forever 21, and they're 40 years old, and they have good lives, they make good money, but they're just, like, cheating on their wives, getting drunk every night. Like, how do you live like that? I just don't know. Maybe that's something, maybe they made a deal with the devil to be forever young and, like, live that lifestyle, and they're going to live it up to whatever, but I don't know. Even when you talk to them, they don't act like they're 40. And even when you're like, I wonder if they're just doing that because they're hiding something. Maybe they're actually a very mature, smart individual. No, they're fucking stupid. They're just, they got where they are because people like them or because they didn't want to deal with them. This is very important to understand. When you are working in something and there is someone who just is stupid, the best thing that can happen is they move that person somewhere else. That person becomes someone else's problem. They don't fire that person, they just move them somewhere else. And that could be what's going on right here. Someone gets moved somewhere else. And it just kind of fucks up your flow because they're like, why do you have this position? Why are you here? Because the people at the previous company didn't want them there. it could be the same company, but different branches, like 2 different stores. They moved this person over here. And you're like, why are you here? They didn't want to deal with them over here. Like, it is what it is, right? Otter, dexterity, fox, cunning, badger, persecution. This person is persecuting you, but you're more cunning than them, because I feel like you can speak out of both sides of your mouth right here. Like, you're very intellectually capable right now, Gemini. You're able to, fire back insults or put this person in their place. You're able to think quickly, think sharply, come from a very King of Swords mentality. But the ultimate problem is that it's not going to change whatever this is. All right? It just might make sure that you don't ever have to deal with it again. But that's for 2 different people. Some people are going to want to change them. Not going to happen. It could be a new lover coming into your life. Could just be a fuckboy, but a fuckboy that's like, a doctor. Like, that happens. But there are also really bad doctors out there. And you know what? It's important to understand this too. Maybe you want to be with someone who is, capable. Maybe they have a medical degree. You're like, well, I could change them. But here's the thing. You don't want to be with someone stupid who skated through medical school, because if you're with them and all of a sudden they become, they get a medical malpractice, that looks badly on you too. And whatever happens to them happens to you if you get married and you share finances and resources with them, right? So maybe that's the good Lord's way of protecting you right there, Gemini. Maybe they are someone who is very skilled in the head, but they're very childlike in the head as well. So you have manifestation, dreams. I focus on your dreams. Focus on what you're trying to do right here. Focus on what you are physically wanting for yourself. All right? What do you want within your dreams? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? Do you even really care about this person in the end? Do you really care about this organization, this situation, whatever it is? Focus on what you want. For example, maybe you're at this job that you hate and it makes you miserable. When you go on break, start looking for a new job. Maybe that place where you go eat all the time, go ask them if they have a spot open, or go do something else. Maybe you are working for, maybe you have a state job. See if there are other state jobs within different states, or different parts of the county, or whatever, different parts of the state. Same thing, but, somewhere else. I feel like that's what you need to do. You need to put in a lot of work right here. Focus on your dreams. And maybe you don't even want to be doing that job anyway. Maybe you want to focus on something completely different. Think of it as a means to an end. That's a really good way to get you through really tough situations in your life, Gemini, is means to an end. All right? Always think about it like this. This is not my final goal. But I'm going to give it 100% because it's paying me to get my means to an end. My means to an end is I want to be done with college. I want to, or maybe you're done with college. Maybe you want to have a better job. Maybe you want to have a different position. Maybe you want to be a Supreme Court justice, whatever. It's a mean to an end. Maybe you're working at a really trashy law company that you're like at the very bottom. But think about it like this. You're putting in your work. You're doing your time. You're whatever you got to do. It's a means to an end, right? So, Black cat, fortune meets opportunity, vampire, emotional intelligence. Yeah, think of it like that. You don't have to get your emotions involved, all right? When we talk about emotional intelligence, don't allow your emotional psyche to get involved. Play off of the other person's emotions. Not be like a yes man, not be like, a kiss ass or anything like that, but emotionally manipulate the situation to the way you want it to go. Maybe you don't even need to go into this fighting energy. Maybe you can just use some sort of, emotional tactics right here. With this fortune meets opportunity, it's, as I said, you have the opportunity now, time to meet your fortune. Maybe you have the fortune now, it's time to meet the opportunity. Hello, void and sparkling synchronicities. The void represents this. Everyone's going to die, all right? Hello, void. Everyone meets death. Everyone meets the black nothingness. You will, the person you hate will, the person who's bothering you will, everyone in the world will. Sparkling synchronicities behind it is that pay attention to how things play out within your life. Maybe you're dealing with someone who's very toxic to help move you forward in a different position. Maybe you're going to have to be around more toxic people like that. If you learn how to smile and wave and emotionally manipulate the situation and understand it's just a means to an end, yeah, you're a stupid person I have to deal with for 8 hours, but I'm just going to smile and wave at you and just continue with my life. What they do has no effect on you. here's the thing, especially at a company, this is what changes a lot of people's minds. 100% you're not going to change the company unless you become like, the CEO of it, right? If the company wants to be stupid, let them dig their own grave. Just get what you can out of it, do what you got to do, continue moving forward. If they have a really stupid policy that they put in place, smile and wave, move on, all right? If it's not really affecting you, you just think that it could be better, then it is what it is. They have implemented that on themselves. They'll realize either it's good or it's bad later on down the line. And you just need to focus on what you can do. So let me get you a couple of rune cards. My cat is meowing, trying to go outside. I need to let him out. Hold on, Finn. Fate, uncertainty, unknown consequences, acceptance, trust the unknowable, fate. So, unknown consequences, trust the universe, the unknowable, use that vampire emotional intelligence. Maybe you don't have to go into this physically, fighting state, but you can go into a more, emotional state where you can just understand who that person is. Understand, the peaked at high school archetype of a person. The wine-drunk mom. The edgy person. The goth person. Everyone has an archetype. Everyone says, oh, don't put me in a box. But here's the fucking problem, is that everyone puts themselves in a box. So once you understand what the boxes are, and how to pinpoint each one of those boxes and say that's your archetype for each individual person, because there are only so many personalities out there. There are only so many ways someone can dress. There are only so many different types of people, okay? Once you understand and pinpoint the archetypes and the boxes that the people are put in, you're able to pick them out. Now, the problem is sometimes people are able to be emotionally intelligent and manipulate themselves into a box, like, dress preppy but be completely different, like, be a computer scientist, or look beautiful, but at the same time be a rocket scientist. Like, how, like, sometimes models are like that? They have, like, this kind of ditzy, oh, I'm a model, I'm walking the runway, but at the same time be, like, a programmer at NASA. Sometimes people are able to emotionally manipulate themselves into a box. And I feel like that's what you're learning how to do, Gemini, or that's what you just need to focus on. Focus on for yourself for this month. Just think about that. You've done it before, you can do it again. You're dealing with someone who's difficult, it's a means to an end for yourself, right? Sparkling synchronicities. You have ehwaz, you, problem solving, strength under attack, protection and stoicism, resurrection and transcendence. It's problem solving and strength under attack. Like, that's what this is. You have answers, open your mind, connect with a higher power, broaden your horizons, and invoke wisdom. So anyways, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.